Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you an absolute top tier endgame spear build that straight up melts bosses, elites, and normal enemies like they're nothing. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Stick around and have a little faith. You're about to see it in action against the hardest boss in the game. After this build, Ozma won't feel like the final boss anymore. Trust me, once you see the gameplay, you'll get it. This build is an upgrade from my last guide. And it's way better now because we have access to one of the most broken items in the game. Plus, since this is an endgame build, everything's dialed up to another level. Enough talk, let's dive right in and craft this epic boss killer. For this build, we're mixing pieces from different sets to push our damage to the limit. In short, we're mixing the best pieces together instead of locking ourselves into a full set. At this point in the game, you should have access to epic or legendary jars, and you're going to need them. We're using a stun jar, because that extra 10 proficiency boosts both our attack and stamina damage. If you don't have a stun jar, a smitten jar works too. Either way, you'll need at least one jar to pull this off. The jar lets you unlock set bonuses with fewer pieces. For example, normally you'd need 2 pieces of the Soul Eater set to get max stamina, but with the jar, you only need 1 item to get that passive. Now for the main set, we're rolling with the golden set, and honestly, it's pure S tier if you know how to get the most out of it. Let me quickly break it down for you. With just 2 pieces, you get a 15% dodge stamina cost reduction, which makes staying mobile way easier. At 3 pieces, you unlock a 10% stamina damage boost when attacking from behind. And trust me, that's where a lot of our power comes from. With 4 pieces equipped, your Trance skill, the best skill in the game, no question, gets a massive 20% damage boost. And if that's not enough, the 5-piece bonus gives you another 10% rear attack damage on top. It all stacks up to make you an absolute boss melting machine. The full set also unlocks Moonlight Awakening. Swift attack becomes a piercing attack when used after trance, but we're not using that. It actually messes up our attack chain, so we're skipping it, and Moonlight Awakening itself does not do crazy damage. Instead of switching between the front and back, we want to stay behind the enemy as much as possible to keep the damage flowing. We're using just 4 golden pieces: weapon, gloves, pants, and boots. Thanks to the jar, that's enough to unlock the 5-piece bonus. For the chest piece, we're going with Guardian's Pauldrons for 50 flat attack damage. You could also use Butcher's Pauldrons if you want 10% swift attack damage instead. It's a personal choice. Now for the accessories. First, you want to grab the Necklace of Strikes from the Cutthroat set. It's going to boost your rear attack damage by 20%, which is huge for this setup. As for the ring, you'll want to craft Elamane's Ring. It gives you a 10% confront damage increase. Confront attribute activates while you are fighting with one enemy. And since we're going up against bosses, which is one-on-one fight, it's the perfect fit for this build. When it comes to attributes, the goal is simple. Stack as much rear assault damage and flat attacker damage increase as possible. For your weapon and gloves, focus on attack damage, damage increase, and rear assault stats. On the helmet, you want max stamina, stamina damage, and rear assault stats. For the chest and pants, prioritize max health, max stamina, and stamina recovery to keep yourself alive and aggressive. Boots should have max stamina, rear assault stats, and a damage multiplier. For the necklace, go for attack damage, max stamina, and rear assault multiplier. And finally, for the ring, you're looking for damage increase, attack damage, and either max stamina or more rear assault stats. Most of our insane damage comes from rear attacks, so if a piece doesn't roll rear stats, just load it up with attack or damage increase instead. Also, make sure your max stamina is above 2,000. It's a must. You need enough stamina to keep attacking while the enemy is staggered and to maximize your damage when they're exhausted. That's a huge part of what makes this build hit so hard. Here's what my stats look like when I took down Ozma. I was at level 149 with a 52% rear assault damage and a 22% rear assault damage multiplier. For attributes, I had 83 proficiency, 50 endurance, 40 vitality, and 25 strength. These are using the Guardian chest piece to stay at agility A. If you switch to Butcher's Pauldrons, here's the adjusted stats. Had to compromise in proficiency and put more points in vitality and strength to maintain agility A. For the Phantom, the best pick is Keshta the Unyielding. At Awakening level 2, he restores 15% stamina, which is clutch when you're unloading damage on an exhausted boss. If you're confident with Brink dodges, Conrad the Swift is an absolute beast. After a Brink dodge, you get 10% bonus damage for 15 seconds, and it can stack by 5% up to 5 times. Another really solid option is Wolfric. He buffs your front assault damage and also gives you spirit when you land perfect counters or when the enemy gets exhausted. My personal pick? Keshta the Unyielding. Stamina recovery is just too valuable. In Swift Attack, max out Moonlight Stance, unlock Persistence, which will increase your Moonlight Stance for each Brink Dodge or Brink Guard, and Crimson Strike. This boosts your brutal attack damage if you are in Moonlight Stance. In Potent Blow, unlock and max out Spiral Thrust. It's insanely strong at max level, with crazy range and guard penetration. Always use it when the enemy is exhausted. Fighting Spirit is a must. More spirit recovery means more skill spam. For chain skills, unlock Chaser, which will make your attacks cost less stamina while the enemy is exhausted. Shadow Reversal is great for getting behind enemies if stance is broken. To use Reversal, press X, then tap Y twice after any of these attacks. Rod Smite, Swift Attack, Vital Strike, or 0 Point. And you must unlock all levels of Trance, the best skill if you're a Spear main. Second level restores Spirit, third level boosts your attack damage after using Trance, and final level Trance Liberation lets you trigger it after any attack. Unlock Devour, 1 Spirit gained every time you exhaust an enemy. In the Shrewd Tree, make sure to unlock Vital Strike so you can chain it into Shadow Reversal. Also, grab Agility for reduced stamina cost when dodging, which keeps you moving in fights. Over in Guard, pick up Breakdown, Endurance, and Rod Smite. All really solid choices. Unlock everything under Resources, except Spirit Extraction. More Spirit regen while attacking, dodging, or even taking hits. You absolutely have to master Reflection. It's a game changer. Getting good at it can straight up melt bosses and make fights way shorter. Make sure you unlock the final level of Reflection Expert too. It gives you even more timing frames, making it way easier to pull off consistently. In the Brutal Attack tree, make sure to unlock Spirit. It lets you restore Spirit when you land a brutal attack from behind, which is exactly what this build is all about. Also grab Brutal Attack Absorb. It helps you charge up your Phantom Form even faster. Fully unlock Counter Attack to make your life easier while dealing with burst counters. It's similar to Reflection. If you have 7 points left, unlock Death's Denial and Phantom Form tree. This lets you trigger Phantom Form instead of dying from lethal damage. If you have 3 more points, pick up Extension to make Phantom Form last longer. Not mandatory, but hey, a second chance never hurts. Now, let's put this setup to the ultimate test against Ozma, the final boss, and show you just how broken this build really is. That's it for this build guide. If you have any questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments. I always love hearing from you. And hey, if this video helped, make sure you trance that like button and give a brutal attack to subscribe.